Welcome back to the Home Slice, guys. We're going to do our next test on Mr. Andy, the near-death experience rope. This is a 40mm manila rope. We're testing different fine edges presently to see which ones last the longest. I'm using all Victorinox knives because they're about the same thickness behind the edge. They're the same steel, the same heat treatment. So I've taped the tip off of this one because I need the edge to be about 3 1/4 to 3.5 inches long to not give any of the blades an unfair advantage in terms of edge length. We're going to start off with a slicing aggression test. This rig is meant to translate the forward pressure taken to initiate a cut and measure it, convert it into downward pressure so we can measure it on the scale. If you want to hear the explanation of why I'm doing these different tests in depth, you can check out my first video. I'll put a link to that right up here, and then you'll be able to see kind of the reasons why. But for now, let's do the aggression test, and then we'll go through the big rope a couple times and see how it does. Oh, this edge was done on a hanging denim strop, which then went to a diamond strop and then went to kangaroo. It's based on, loosely based, I'm not an expert at this sharpening method, but it's loosely based on Todd Simpson's method for sharpening straight razors. He gets really good deburring results in his intended purpose, and so I was wanting to give it a test in these Victorinox knives. So here we go. See how much pressure it takes. All right, 3.5 kg, just slightly more than the last test, which was a Spyderco ceramic that was unstropped. So a little less aggressive on this one, which actually lines up with my felt experience. All right, let's go through the big rope. Jen, stop touching that, please. Stop. No, don't touch that. Don't touch that, please.
I'll click it.
Thank you. Yeah, leave it clicked, okay? Okay, very interesting. So this is kind of cool because this puts some numbers to what I've observed in the past. The hanging denim strop is amazing for a push cutting application. If you want to see an insane test of something that's done with a hanging denim strop, check out this link above where I do 1,000 chops with my K-Bar Becker outdoors knife into a piece of timber with a hanging denim stropped edge, and it's still shaving at the end of it. So I find that these edges done on a hanging denim strop, they get cleaned up of damaged metal really well, and they get a nice micro convex that's very clean. I think that sort of puts them at a disadvantage for rope cutting tests because there's no texture in the edge to initiate cuts, and so I don't think that this went dull much faster than the previous edge. but I think that it did actually struggle to initiate cut, so I had to do a lot more strokes to get through the rope. And that's evidenced by the fact that the previous edge went through the rope twice and ended up in the high 300s, and this rope went through once and ended up in the high 400s. And it seems like after the little 5 kg baton into the pine block, edges tend to lose about 60 to 80 grams from the testing I've done so far. The initial aggressiveness was lower on this a little bit, but by the end of it, it was quite a lot lower. Like I got about, I think 9 or 10 kgs. I'll put it on screen. I'm sorry. It was hard to see here, so I'll go back and check the footage. Very interesting results. So there you go. Hanging denim, very good for a push cutting application and can be decent for this type of steel. But if you want an edge that's long lasting, aggressive, then actually the unstropped ceramic stones with edge trailing strokes did a much better job of holding an edge than this. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll just say peace out. You guys take care. Bye. I should mention with regards to this hanging denim stropped knife that the edge felt really, really good and crisp to begin with, and even still feels pretty good. Not quite shaving anymore, but it still feels okay. But it was by far the most difficult to get through. The aggression to get through those fibers did not seem to be there. So that's very, very interesting on this test.